I'm Danny Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I'm joined today by Craig Wingate, who is a public health educator with San Mateo County Health. Today we're talking about tobacco prevention and the program that the San Mateo County Health Department has. Craig, welcome.
Thank you.
You and I had a moment to chat prior to the start of our program, and I learned so much just in those few moments. But why don't we start by talking about what your program is trying to do with regard to tobacco prevention and awareness?
Yes, so yes, the Tobacco Prevention Program is a program within San Mateo County Health. And we are here to support the San Mateo County residents and inform them, keep them informed about the health risks related to tobacco products. And we're also here in terms of supporting them if they have any questions or issues related to tobacco use. We support them through our hotline. It's an anonymous hotline that residents can call and leave messages, ask questions, leave information about people who are not abiding by certain tobacco restrictions.
So as you've brought with us some of the options that are available now,
yes.
We used to think of tobacco typically as just a cigarette, but now tobacco products come in all forms, shapes, and sizes, flavors. And uses and
yes.
ways of using it. So with the onset of a really new industry, really, how do you then talk to people about what those risks are? And because when you are using flavored products, for example, you might not think about there are still tobacco risks.
Yes, so the same risks that are connected to cigarettes are connected to flavored tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, which is the latest tobacco product that's in the market. So some of the same chemicals that cause cancer increase your risk for cardiovascular disease and other lung diseases. Those are connected to flavored tobacco products. So that includes like chewing tobacco, snus, e-cigarettes, hookah. They're just plenty.
Well, you know, if we look at the table, you've got things that look like they're liquid, and then you have other devices that almost look like a USB port for a computer.
Yes.
But so tell me a little bit about what's emerged now in the market and how people are using them and what those health risks are to thinking perhaps you have an oil or it looks like a liquid that now is also still not a good tobacco product.
Yes. So this is called e-juice, and what this is it's the liquid nicotine that goes into the products, e-cigarette products. This is an example of what a Juul product looked like, and yeah, you're correct in terms of it looking very similar to a USB. They're designed specifically to look cool, feel cool, because it's very smooth, and also be enticing to youth as well, just because of the technology behind them. And the e-juice goes into these different products. That was Juul. This is another product called Soren, and it looks like your typical highlighter. And in terms of the consumption of the products, yes, the e-juice contains nicotine, which isn't heavily promoted by the tobacco industry. They just say, oh, it's just, flavored tobacco, and it's just you are vaping, and what's given out by the product is water vapor, which is not correct. That's a myth. It's actually aerosol that youth are and young adults are vaping and absorbing into their bodies, and that is a myth that is perpetuated by the tobacco industry.
And so with these kinds of products, are they bound by the same tobacco use laws as a general cigarette? So age, access, marketing, all of the laws that we put in place to regulate the tobacco industry, the typical cigarette industry, are they still in place for the use of these kinds of flavored products?
Unfortunately not. These products are new to the market, and they haven't been they aren't covered by the same restrictions as cigarettes. So in 2009, the Food and Drug Administration agreed to restrict the use of flavors in cigarettes with the exemption of menthol, which they're now looking at and evaluating if they should continue that exemption. So because of the lack of restrictions on these new products, specifically e-cigarettes, the tobacco industry is allowed to market, package, and promote these products without the same restrictions that are connected to cigarettes. Because currently you can't, there are no cigarette ads on television. There are no cigarette ads in magazines, whereas you have various tobacco industry companies who are marketing e-cigarettes on television
and radio
and packaging them to look very similar to candy. I mean, this is a great example, the Swisher Sweets. They look very similar to some type of candy that we've all eaten at some point, and they all have a some form of like flavor to it. So this one is the banana splash, and we also see that in terms of the marketing that it's very geared to youth. In terms of the coloring, it's very bright and lively. The actual flavors themselves, they have very strange and youth sounding names like unicorn poop and strawberry wild and etc.
So they're very attractive. So again, you use the Swisher Sweets as an example. What age legally would you have to be in order to purchase the product?
So in the state of California, you have to be 21 to purchase any tobacco product. Unfortunately, that ordinance of that law, it hasn't been as effective because youth are still getting access to these products.
It's probably very difficult to enforce also, right? To be sort of monitoring every tobacco shop or every online or every opportunity that it is. As we can all see now, the amount of products that now contain tobacco have probably tripled, doubled, quadrupled. And how do you monitor all of that access is I'm sure, very difficult. What's happening in San Mateo County that we can say is unique to the rest of the state with regard to understanding and the prevention of tobacco use?
Well, in June of last year, the Board of Supervisors voted to adopt an ordinance restricting the sale of flavored tobacco products, including menthol cigarettes. So in San Mateo County, we're making our residents healthier by doing that. And since the Board of Supervisors adopted the ordinance, other jurisdictions have adopted the ordinance as well. So currently, the city of Half Moon Bay, the city of San Carlos, and the town of Portola have a flavored tobacco restriction. And also that restriction includes a restriction on all tobacco products in pharmacies. So you can no longer go into a drugstore and purchase any tobacco products. And it's important because we are seeing an uptick in youth use in San Mateo County. I mean, this is a national problem, but we're seeing it in San Mateo County as well. So it's great to see that our elected officials are taking this issue on, and they're concerned about youth and young adults who are using these products.
So it's important for viewers, for our families, parents, to be thinking about and talking with their children about these products so that they aren't viewed by our youth as more of a sweet or treat product, but they are, in fact, a tobacco product.
Exactly. And that is one of the main things that is being left out of the conversation as it relates to these products, the fact that they contain nicotine, the fact that nicotine's addictive. And one of the biggest things that research has shown is that in terms of youth use of e-cigarettes, they're 4 times more likely to move on to traditional cigarettes later in life. So it's important that we get the message out that these products are dangerous, and we need to keep them away from our youth and young adults.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Craig, for joining us and giving us so much valuable information about these new sort of tobacco uses and products. We're going to put your website up at the end of this program, so if people are looking for more information or want to have a conversation further or get involved in some way, we make sure that we have a place where our viewers can go and learn more about the tobacco prevention programs that are happening here in San Mateo County and beyond.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining all of us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time on Penn Voice.